Hello, how are you doing, cyclist and YouTube watcher? How are you? Good. It's me, your boy Dave, the Bicycle Ninja, back with another vlog. Well, let's see here. What is going on in my bicycle life? Well, I'll tell you. This past weekend, this past Saturday and Sunday, I decided to spend the entire weekend at our local bike kitchen, which I just about did. I pretty much stayed until they told me to leave. They literally had to tell me to leave. That's how much I love bicycles. You know, our local bike kitchen, probably like any bike kitchen, it's overrun with like really filthy, disgusting characters. You know, like hobo drifter type guys. You know, and I'm not judging anybody or anything. Don't get me wrong, but I'm always on the edge of being homeless myself, so you know, I'm not judging anybody or anything. You know, there's cyclists, so there's this whole community of homeless cyclists who spend all their time hanging out at the bike kitchen. They might be bike thieves. I'm not accusing anybody of being a bike thief, but I know there are a lot of bike thieves out there, and me and my bicycle are trying to like put an end to this bike thievery that's been plaguing our town. I feel personally like bike theft has gone down, but the statistics haven't really changed that much. But I am on a crusade to stop bike thieves in my town and in every town and so forth. How am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to do it with my bike skills first and foremost. You know, I'm going to do it with you know, my experiences, and I'm going to be using my legendary bikes for like bait and stuff, and basically I'm going to just let my camera roll. That's how I do it. I just let my camera roll. Basically, if you want to catch a bike thief, it's real simple. I found out right away how to catch a bike thief. It's so easy to catch them in the act. Basically, what you do is you put your bike in a place where like only bike thieves who could see it, more or less, you know, so kind of hidden off the beaten path a little bit, but someplace kind of dingy and gross but visible to bike thieves, you know. And you just put your bike out there, and then you get a comfortable distance away from it. You get to a distance to where you can hear somebody walking up trying to steal the bike, or see them. And in my case, I got lucky because I set my bike up against a curb by a dumpster, okay, in the back of a store by my usual hangout. And then I just stood in a little alcove across the way, about 30 feet, probably 30 feet away. I'm a pretty fast runner, so I mean, someone's gonna have to be super fast to get away from me at 30 feet. But these bike thieves are so quick. This guy was so sneaky, you know. I don't know if he knew. I don't even think he knew I was there. But anyways, I'm standing in my little alcove, minding my own business, like eating an apple or something. Probably drinking a Monster Energy drink. Monster Energy, if you're watching this, please sponsor me. I'm ready to be a pro cyclist. Thank you. Sure enough, I'm sitting there like 10 minutes, and I happen to just be looking up. I was staring at the ground, just thinking like about my life and all the mistakes I made. And then I just happened to look up just in time to see this shadowy figure roll in, beeline towards the Red Giant. I think I told you guys this in one of my old vlogs. I didn't have the camera rolling on him, so you know, that's the thing. But basically, just have a camera on your bike is a good way to go, because a lot of cars and haters and stuff that would normally try to run you over, they probably will think twice if they see a big action camera hanging off you or your bike. So just have as many cameras as you can on yourself and your bike. That's great advice. So where am I going with this? Right, this is a vlog. This weekend, I spent most of the weekend at the bike kitchen. Okay, I didn't really volunteer or really help out. I helped out a little bit, but I didn't really do much. I pretty much just focused on racing. I've been going out there ever since I've been going out there. I've been trying to get people to race me on the Red Giant, because I feel that the Red Giant is unbeatable. But I found out that is not the truth, because with a bike in a higher class, it can be beaten. So let me tell you what happened. Saturday, I take the Red Giant to the bike kitchen. A lot of my buddies are there. We're hanging out. We're riding bikes. We're just enjoying the day. And then 3 of the high school kids that work there decided to break out their road bikes. And they had a newer Cannondale road bike that was awesome. And then another Schwinn, I think. And then my vintage. And then this other kid was riding a vintage Miyata, really old road bike. I want to say like 60s or 70s, early 80s, I don't know. Crazy old road bike, older than the Red Giant. And this Miyata was rocking 35Cs tires, and the rider weighed 130 pounds. High school kid, super fast, super talented rider. And I don't remember who challenged who. I think he challenged me to a race, because he probably heard of my legend, and he probably wanted to race me, and I wanted to race him. But I said, dude, I don't really think it's fair for me to try to race a mountain bike against a vintage touring bike. And it's not. In no universe is it a fair drag race on asphalt between a mountain bike and a road bike or a touring bike. He says it's a touring bike. That's not fair. He had 35C tires. I got 26 by like 1.95 tires on my mountain bike, okay? It was not a fair race, and I knew it wasn't a fair race, and I knew I had very little chance of winning him, because I just saw him race that Cannondale, and I think the Cannondale won. I'm not sure who won that race, but it was a good race. But he has this crazy fast touring bike. We race. Let me just say, it was a drag race, probably like 1 or 2 city blocks, and it had a little curve and a little S-turn in the middle, and there was some hazards and stuff. So it was a good race. I felt that I rode the Red Giant to the best of my ability, and I still felt that me and the Red Giant had a chance in a race, in a drag race, against a road bike of that caliber. And we did. Me and the high school kid, young talented rider, hit all our shifts. We both rode perfectly. We both rode our bikes to the maximum, and we pushed ourselves and our bikes to the absolute limit. And I don't know what our speeds were at the end of the race, but we were cooking. And he got me off the line because I started on my big ring, which I did both days, which was a mistake. Don't start a race on your big ring. You got to trust your shifting and start on the middle ring. So that's where I screwed up. I should have started on the middle ring. And the guy that lost Friday or Saturday said the same thing. I messed up. So in a drag race, start on your middle ring, kids. So he started on his middle ring, I think, and he whole shot the crap out of me. He had 60-footed me, and I was like, oh god, I'm going to have to put in some serious work. So I instantly went beast mode, and so did the Red Giant, and we just caught on fire. and worked so freaking hard and just pedaled our butts off and went as fast as we could. And we were actually towards the halfway 3/4 mark of the race. Me and Red Giant were definitely pulling this old road bike, and at the finish line, I was right on his back tire. We pulled him. In a longer race, we would have won because my cardio was better than this kid's. This kid was a good rider and he had good cardio, but not like my cardio. My cardio is out of control with all the cross training I do and stuff. So the plan is I'm going to fix up Red Giant, get some skinnier tires, get some 1.5s on her, do some other little adjustments to make her faster, and then I'm going to challenge this kid to a real bike race, like a 50-mile race, uphill probably. It's just a gnarly freaking run. And because I hate losing, I'm sick of losing. You know, I basically trained for this race for a year, hard, on the bike every day. And I gave it everything I had. I felt I rode the bike to perfection. Everyone said I did. And yet, I still lost on the Red Giant. I thought the Red Giant was unbeatable. We lost. But we barely lost to a touring bike, okay, that was older and in a different class than us, okay? And we lost to a rider that was a lot younger and had a lot fresher legs and had no fear and weighed 60 pounds less than me. So he was 130 that day, I was 190, and we lost. We lost him. So I mean, it wasn't a fair race. It wasn't a fair race. A fair race would be a rematch. His Rockhopper against my Red Giant. Once I get those skinny tires on it, and that's going to be a good freaking race. That is going to be a good freaking race. But you know what? He'll drag race me and stuff on the tour to Oak Street, but I honestly don't think he will race me on a real tour, like a 75, 80 mile tour. I don't think he'll race me. But you never know. But I'm up for it. You know, I feel like I'm up for it. I want to see how if I can survive a race of that caliber. I'd have to push my training a little harder. So now I'm switching up my training a little bit. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm so much going for the Olympic trials training or the Tour de France training as I am going for local street racing training. So I don't know if it has been going on, but there is definitely a strong bicycle street racing community here in Santa Maria. So if you have the guts to race any of these amazingly talented cyclists, step up, And I don't race for money usually, just to keep it legit. I told this kid, I said, let's race for money, dude. And he's like, I only have $1. And I was like, I don't even have $1. And he's like, why did you say that? And I was like, I'm stupid. And he's like, yeah, dude, you're dumb. I said, I know. And then he said, I said, I'll tell you what, dude. I'll race you for respect and friendship. If we race, you give me a little respect, and I'll give you a little friendship. And he just nodded. And then he started rolling in the right direction, and I said, go. And he took off, and I took off after him. That's what happened. Sunday, we lost on the daily race. I lost on the Diamondback. Same thing. He capped us. Peace.